What's up, everybody? King of FOMO here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Make sure you follow my Telegram channel, t.me/KingofFOMO1, where I make all of these announcements. If you feel like, man, I missed that, I'm too late for that, that Telegram channel will help you to find things as soon as I put the videos out there. YouTube doesn't always do the best job, even if you do have that bell notification clicked, as well as the chat, which will be linked in the description below. Many people have been asking me, how did I find Printer.Finance so early? Well, I found it from my chat. Somebody posted it on my chat, and then I started looking at it, researched it, and then I made a video about it shortly afterwards. So let's talk about this thing. When I first talked about Printer.Finance, right here, I made this video about 2 days ago. It was $298.85. Now we have officially 10x'd our funds in here. This thing did touch 3,000. It's kind of rebounding back to 2,700 right now. But that is amazing rewards in the past 2 days. And it kind of progressed the way that I predicted. Now, generally, usually, I'm wrong and things don't predict the way that I predict, or things don't progress the way that I predict, but in this case, it did. Now, the reason why the price is so high is because that supply is so incredibly low at 1,134. And I predicted the price of these print coin being way higher than $298 if it were to catch on at all. Even if it were to catch on as a meme, I knew that the price was going to shoot up way higher than $200 with such a tiny supply. And on top of that, looking at the burn rate, looking at how serious the developers were, and looking at the pairings in the farm being only print pairs, told me that if this coin does catch on at all, even as a meme coin, it might be taken a little bit more seriously than your typical meme coins, because it has a cycle where people have to support print in order to earn print, and it won't just be printed and dumped essentially from other pairs that have nothing to do with print. And on top of that, the burn rate will reduce the supply, thus pushing the price up even more. So all of those things did come true and to fruition. And now I still do have a price target in my head, and this is still well below that price target. It's getting closer to there, but it's still below the price target. In terms of what I did is I compared Printer.Finance with Pickle.Finance, which is, in my opinion, more of a meme coin than anything else. And I predicted that the price of this thing can shoot up to about $14,000 if it hits the same level as Pickle.Finance per coin. And if it doesn't go to that level, then pretty safe to say, in my opinion, again, I've been wrong plenty of times, to say that $7,000 is a reachable goal if it reaches half the popularity of Pickle.Finance. Now, with all those things being said, my plans to progress from here on out are the same as what they were when I started. I said that I'm going to take profits with my farm. I'm not really just going to try to take profits from selling at the top. Now, what does that mean? That means that I will not make as much money rather than selling from the top. But it also means that I don't have to worry about figuring out when the top is going to be. So by farming, and farming starts in exactly about like 2 hours from now. So by farming, it's going to get me well over my ROI, fingers crossed, hopefully. I mean, it should be really easy to get well over ROI if I can farm the amount and get the amount of tokens quickly. And then after that, I won't have to worry, because, I don't regret not making more money. I'm just happy with the money that I make in crypto in general. So if my potential 50K turns into 20K, I'm not going to cry and say, oh, boo-hoo, woe is me, I only made 20K instead of 50K. So that is my strategy going here forward. Now, of course, if it does start farming and it does do really well on the first day, and I farm and I get ROI and it's still doing really well, and I keep farming, I might decide to sell while it's still doing it really well, and I've already gotten ROI. So I'm not just going to say I'm going to hold my tokens forever and ever. But of course, some other things to note here, Print.Finance works similarly to Kitten.Finance, and if we take a look at Kitten's chart over on CoinGecko, let me zoom out a little bit here to the 30-day chart. This thing dumped all the way down to the bottom as soon as the farm was released because people were farming it. They dumped it, and then what happened here and here, and here. Three things happened. There was, if we take a look over here, the halvings. I'm pretty sure there's been 3 halvings that have taken place with Kitten.Finance, and with each halving, the first halving, the price was already dumped pretty low, but people knew that the coins would be harder to get, so it started increasing, and I think the dip happened like here, and people were just farming it. Then the price started increasing, and it was harder to get, so it was harder to dump the price, and then the halving happened again, so people sold before the halving because they knew that it was going to dump afterwards, and then the price recovered after the hard big time holders were continuing to hold. The price recovered again. It was harder to get tokens, harder to dump it again, and the same thing is just happening right now. So a lot of people, I woke up and I saw somebody said, oh no, Kitten.Finance rugged, and I'm like, no, it pretty much did exactly what was anticipated. Was right before the halving, it hit $127, and people panic sold. Essentially, they panic sold to make sure that they could lock in their gains. And then the halving did happen. The price did dip, just like this time, right here. The halving did happen, and I do expect that, it might be a couple days. It could be a couple. Actually, let's see how long it's going to be. So yeah, the next halving is in 14 hours and 47 minutes. So it might actually not be a couple days for this thing to keep going, because the halvings, I got to look exactly how the halvings, or how often the halvings happen, but there's going to be less and less and less and less and less Kitten.Finance being put out there. So as time goes on, the price should theoretically keep moving up, and that's, again, as long as this developer keeps doing what he's supposed to do and keeps releasing what he's supposed to release and doesn't just abandon the project. Then the coin has value, and that value continues to go up because it's harder to obtain. Printer.Finance actually does the same thing. You can see in most of these mining coins, our farming coins do this, but just reiterating. So you can see that the first block right here, which is in, let's take a look when this time is, 2 hours and 24 minutes. The price, or sorry, the halving is going to happen, or the first farming is going to happen. You're going to get 0.01 print out of that per block, and then in the next block period, there's going to be even more print that you're going to get. So actually, I'm not actually sure. They did a vote on this. I'm not sure if they updated this. I'm not sure if this is an updated version of this, but they were voting on how they want the rewards to be, and it was interesting, the discussion that they had. I have to look into this a little bit more. I didn't actually prepare before this video, so it's not like Kitten.Finance where the halving just keeps happening and you get less and less print over time. But it looks like, and I think this is the way they were discussing it, they wanted people to not just abandon the project after the first halving, because that does happen with a lot of these farming coins. The maximum rewards go away, so people just leave and they find the next maximum rewards coin. So in this case, it looks like you're getting the minimum rewards when the farming first starts, and then if you stick around, the rewards increase, and if you stick around even more, then the rewards slowly decrease after that. So I think what they're trying to do here is to prevent people from just insta dumping once that first farming happens, because as long as they continue to farm and continue to grow their stack more, whether they're buying or farming the tokens, they should be getting more rewards for that second block, which is going to happen in 1 day from now. So it'll be an interesting day that this thing continues on. This last block is going to be, how long is this last block? 3 days from now until we get to the kind of a regular rate of printer. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now, again, it's totally up to you guys to sell. I mean, you're up 10x if you bought during my first video, so I'm not going to blame you or get mad at you or tell you you're an idiot for selling at 10x. 10x is 10x. Take your profits if you want to take your profits. But that's just my personal strategy. I do think that this thing has a lot of leg room and growth room left. But at the same time, I'm not worried if this price does rebound back to $300 again. Because again, with the farming and with how everything has been going, I think I'm guaranteed to get ROI plus more profits. So I'm not going to cry about not getting the maximum amount of profits. That's usually never something I've worried about. And a lot of people ask me, like, what's the best time to sell? And I say the best time to sell is probably not going to be the time that you sell. It's probably going to be a different time. But the best time for you to sell is that's an opinion. That's completely and totally up to you. So that is Printer.Finance. Again, farming is launching here in, let's just take a look one more time, 2 hours and 21 minutes as of the release of this video. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, if you're not prepared, if you do not have the fortitude and the patience, the zen to be able to handle the volatility of this coin, then it might be best for you to sell the coin right now, because I do think that the coin is going to go wildly down and then it's going to go wildly up. Because if you look at Kitten, that's exactly what happened. The coin started at, I mean, the chart's not even here. Let's go to the max to see if it's actually there on the max. This coin started at like $2,000 before it was listed on CoinGecko, and then it dumped down to $30. And like, if you like, you'd panic and you'd probably insta sell if it went from a $2,000 to $30. But if you bought at a smart time, you knew that it was going to rebound, it was going to crash again and rebound. So if you're calm and you predict when the crashes are going to happen, like I've been doing, then it's not really going to phase you that much when the next crash does happen, which will come pretty soon here. And like, I know that there's been a lot of people in my chat that said that they panic sold because the price went down. There's been a lot of people that said, man, I should have bought at, I remember when the thing first came out, it was $300 and it went up to $500. Like, man, I missed print. Ah, darn, what's the next print? And I'm like, it's not done yet. Farming didn't start. And then it goes up to like $800, and then I hear the next person, oh man, I missed print. What's the next print? And then it's up to $1,000. Man, I missed print. What's the next print? And now it's up to $3,000. And I'm hearing to see people say the same thing. Man, I missed print. Find the next print for me. So I told you guys what my price predictions for this thing is. Now, obviously, I wouldn't bet the cart and the horse in the entire, the chickens and the eggs right now, because I was smart and I bought when this thing was super duper low. But at the same time, it does have a lot of growth potential, a lot of room to grow. Just you do your own research. Look at the market cap, compare it with the other farm coins. Let me know what you guys come up with that in terms of price. If you can't do the math, then that's unfortunate. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I guess if you really are legitimately interested in what's the next print, Kitten.Finance is still not out of the running. So this coin does only have 21,000 supply, which is 20 times higher, or 20 times higher than Printer.Finance. So the price can definitely get to the same levels as Printer.Finance and get to $2,000 again. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Follow the Telegram channels in the link below. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.